Reading from Caitanya Caritamrita Adi Leela Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Chapter 4, text 234. Esabha Siddhanta Haya Amarera Palava Bhaktagana Kokilera Sarvada Vallabha. All these conclusions are like the newly grown twigs of a mango tree. They are always pleasing to the devotees, who in this way resemble cuckoo birds. So we have been hearing the reasons why Krishna came as Lord Chaitanya, and these are pleasing to the devotees. Abhakta otsrera etena haya pravesha tabechite haya mora ananda vishesha. The camel-like non-devotees cannot enter into these topics. Therefore, there is special jubilation in my heart. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was saying, he cannot not tell the truth because he knows the devotees will relish them. But he wants to say it in such a way, so because the non-devotees, they might become offenders. The devotees are always very, very compassionate. They want to spread this, this knowledge of bhakti, of the pastimes of the Lord to everyone. But the reason he said he wants to not let the non-devotees understand the truth is because they will not be able to accept it, and in that way they will commit offenses. So to protect them, that's the reason. Not that there is any partiality or that, no, a devotee wants everyone to become devotee, everyone to become happy and blissful and go back home, back to Godhead. Ye lagi kahite bhaya se yadi na jane, iha vai kiba sukha ache tribhuvane. For fear of them, I do not wish to speak. But if they do not understand, then what can be happier in all the three worlds? Ateva Bhakta Gane Kari Namaskar Nihashanke Kahiye Tara Hok Chamatkar. Therefore, after offering obeisances to the devotees for their satisfaction, I shall speak without hesitating. Krishnera Vichareka Achaye Antare Purnananda Purna Rasarupa Kahe More. Once Lord Krishna considered within his heart, everyone says that I am complete bliss, full of all rasas. So Krishna is thinking, everyone is saying, I am Purna Rasa Rupa, Purna Ananda, complete bliss, full of rasas. This is what everyone says, he's thinking. Ama haite anandita haya tribhuvana, amake ananda dibe aiche konjana. All the world derives pleasure from me. Is there anyone who can give me pleasure? So we all want to be happy, right? Pleasure. So where does this pleasure originate from? Originates from Krishna. He's the reservoir of pleasure. For example, we are supplied by water in our homes. Where does the water comes from? It comes from the reservoir of the water. You know, there'll be a lake or something, or a dam, there'll be a reservoir. And so we are supplied water from there. Similarly, each of us feels pleasure. And where is that pleasure coming from? That pleasure comes from Krishna. All the pleasure originates from Krishna. And so Krishna is thinking, is there anyone who can give him pleasure? He's thinking like that. Everyone is being happy because of me, but who is making me happy? Ama haite yara haya shata shata guna se jane ladite pare mora mane. One who has 100 times more qualities than me could give pleasure to my mind. So 100 times more qualities than Krishna. Ama haite guni bada jagate asambhava ekali radhate taha kari anubhava. One more qualified than me is impossible to find in the world. But in Radha alone, I feel the presence of one who can give me pleasure. So Krishna is saying it's impossible. There is no one more qualified than Krishna. No one. We are all trying to compete Krishna. That's the reason we are here in this material world. We all want to be God. I am God. I can do whatever I want to do. I am God. But right now, I've forgotten that I'm God. But after I give up this body, I will become God. Each of us is trying to compete with Krishna. Each of us is trying to control like him or enjoy like him or own. But we can't. There is no one as qualified as Krishna. Impossible. No one. But he's thinking, Radha makes me happy. I feel happy in the presence of Srimati Radharani. Koti Kamajini Rupaya Dyapi Amar Asamurdva Madhurya Samya Nahiya Mora Rupe Apayita Hayatribhuvana Radhara Darshane Mora Judaya Nayana. Although my beauty defeats the beauty of 10 million cupids, although it is unequaled and unsurpassed, and although it gives pleasure to the three worlds, seeing Radharani gives pleasure to my eyes. So Cupid, the god of love, he's conquering all of us. We are all under this spell of Cupid. But the Cupid that we are under the spell of gets attracted to Krishna. Krishna is 10 million times more beautiful than Cupid is. So Krishna's beauty is unequal. There is no one more beautiful than Krishna. There is no one more sweeter than Krishna. There is no one who can compete with Krishna. And Krishna is saying, just by looking at me, because I am so sweet, because I am so beautiful, everyone feels happy. But what gives me gives me happiness is seeing Srimati Radharani. Seeing Srimati Radharani gives Krishna happiness. Mora Vamshi Gite Akarshaye Tribhuvana Radhara Vachane Hare Amara Shravana. The vibration of my transcendental flute attracts the three worlds, but my ears are enchanted by the sweet words of Srimati Radharani. So in the Venu Geet, we get a slight glimpse of the power of Krishna's flute, how mesmerized everyone gets when Krishna plays the flute. When he plays the flute, all the gopis, the birds, the bees, the trees, the Jamuna, the flowers, the fruits, the cows, the peacocks, the deer, they all get so stunned. They forget what they are doing. They just forget whatever they are doing, and because they want to hear the flute. Krishna's flute is so sweet. Everyone just wants to hear it more and more. But what does Krishna want to hear? He gets enchanted by the words of Srimati Radharani. He wants to hear her speak. Yadyapi amar gande jagat sugandha mora chitta pran hare radha anga gandha. Although my body lends fragrance to the entire creation, the scent of Radharani's limbs captivates my mind and heart. So sound is so important, right? We are speaking to each other through sound. We get knowledge through sound. Where does this sound come from? It comes from Krishna. The origin of sound is from Krishna. When he vibrates the flute, that is the sound, that's the origin of all sound, which we are hearing here in the material world. That's the reason we have sound in the material world. And fragrance. We all love to smell nice, fragrant flowers or nice fragrances. That's why we like perfumes, nice smelling things. Where does the fragrance come from? What is the origin of all fragrance? It's the body of Krishna. Krishna's body is so fragrant. They say that we were hearing that it's like lotus flowers. The fragrance of lotus flowers was coming from his hands. Our bodies, we have to put so many perfumes, or we have to put so many lotions or different fragrances to make it smell good. But Krishna's body is so fragrant, and that's how all the fragrances are existing. And then, but what is he saying? He's saying that the fragrance of Radharani's body captivates his mind and heart. So we are all captivated by the fragrance coming from Krishna's form, from Krishna's body, but Krishna is captivated by the fragrance of Radharani's body. Yadyapi amara rase jagat sarasa radhara adara rasa amakare vasha. Although the entire creation is full of different tastes because of me, I'm charmed by the nectarian taste of the lips of Srimati Radharani. So we have different tastes. This world is full of different tastes. It's not just everything is salty or everything is sweet or everything is just one spice. No, there are different tastes. Different rasas are there. And where is the origin coming from? It's all coming from Krishna. There's so many different varieties of tastes. It's all coming from Krishna. And then, but what does Krishna like to taste? Krishna likes to taste the nectar which is flowing from Srimati Radharani's lips. Yadyapi amar sparsha koti nindu shitala radhikar sparshe amakare shushitala. And although my touch is cooler than 10 million moons, I'm refreshed by the touch of Srimati Radhika. So Krishna, if we get the shelter of Krishna, we say if we get the shelter of Krishna, then this world, which is like a forest fire, blazing forest fire, we can get relief from it. It's like an umbrella giving us shelter. All the miseries are raining cats and dogs. But if we take the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, then it's cooling. The blazing fire does not, we don't feel the blaze anymore. We feel the cool of Krishna's love. So his touch is cooler than 10 million moons. But he's saying that he feels refreshed when he touches Srimati Radharani. E Mata Jagatera Sukhe Ami Hetu Radhika Rupa Guna Amara Jivatu. Thus, although I am the source of happiness for the entire world, the beauty and attributes of Sri Radhika are my life and soul. So, source of happiness, we all want to be happy. Each of us wants to be happy. And where is the origin of this happiness? Is Krishna. He is the source of happiness. All the happiness originates from him. But what makes him happy is Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani makes him happy. So we are feeling happy because there is happiness in Krishna. Because there is happiness in him, we feel happy. And he feels happy. He is the origin of happiness. Yet he is feeling happy when he sees Srimati Radharani. E mata anubhav amara pratita vichari dekhiye yadi sabha viparita. In this way, my affectionate feelings for Srimati Radharani may be understood, but on analysis, I find them contradictory. Saying this is what I'm feeling, but there's some contradiction. Radhara darshane mura juraya nayana amara darshane radha sukhe ageyana. My eyes are fully satisfied when I look upon Srimati Radharani. But by looking upon me, she becomes even more advanced in satisfaction. So he's saying, I feel completely blissful when I see Srimati Radharani. There's nothing else I want to see. And so I'm satisfied. But when she looks at me, she feels more satisfaction than me. So what's this? Paraspara venu gite haraya chetana mora brahmeta malere kare alingana. The flute-like murmur of the bamboos rubbing against one another steal Radharani's consciousness, for she thinks it to be the sound of my flute, and she embraces a tamal tree, mistaking it for me. Radharani, she's so much in love with Krishna that anything and everything reminds her of Krishna. here there are just bamboos which are rubbing against each other, and she's imagining it to be Krishna's playing the flute. And then she sees a tamal tree. A tamal tree is like bluish blackish. Krishna's complexion, it's likened to that. And she thinks that's Krishna. So she is so much absorbed in love for Krishna that she is just, everything reminds Krishna, steals the Radharani's consciousness. Her consciousness is just with Krishna. That's why Krishna conscious. She's the most Krishna conscious. Krishna alingana paino janma safale, Krishna sukhe magna rahe vraksha kari kole. I have got in the embrace of Sri Krishna, she thinks. So now my life is fulfilled. Thus she remains immersed in pleasing Krishna, taking the tree in her arms. So she is actually, it's a tamal tree, but she thinks it is Krishna, and she's trying to please the tree. And she thinks, now my life is successful. There is nothing more else for me to do. Krishna is embracing me. What higher than this? There's nothing more I need. She's not saying, oh, I need to get, I need to get some, whatever, some money, or I want to get some jewelry, I want to eat something, or I want to go for a world tour, or I want to show the world how great I am, or I want everyone to praise me. No, she's saying my life is fulfilled. I've embraced Krishna. I don't need anything else. Anukula bate yadipaya mora ganda udiya padite chahe prema haya anda. When a favorable breeze carries to her the fragrance of my body, she is blinded by love and tries to fly into that breeze. So by the breeze, Krishna's fragrant body, because his body is so fragrant, so the wind is blowing. We also have that, no? When there is flowers kept, and then suddenly a breeze will flow, and then we will be able to smell the fragrance of the flowers, even though we are not going and smelling it as per se. But when we are just somewhere nearby, and then the wind blows, and then we can feel the fragrance. Same, Radharani, when she smells the fragrance of Krishna's body, then she wants to fly into that breeze because she loves Krishna so much. She's blinded by love. Tambula charvita yabe kare ashwadane ananda samudre dube ki chui na jane. When she tastes the beetle chewed by me, she merges in an ocean of joy and forgets everything else. So when Krishna gives her the beetle which he was eating, then an ocean of joy and forgets everything else. This is what do you say, the mercy of prasadam, when the more we eat Krishna prasad, because the prasad has been tasted by Krishna, then the more we become joyful. More and more we become joyful. The potency of prasad. Amar sangame radha paya ye ananda shatamukhe bali tabuna pai tara anta. Even with hundreds of mouths, I could not express the transcendental pleasure she derives from my association. So Krishna is saying, even if I have hundreds of mouths, I will not be able to tell how much pleasure she derives, transcendental pleasure. It's not material. All this is not material topics. Whenever we speak about Sri Krishna, about Radharani, about Vrindavan, it's all transcendental, not material. So he's saying, I will not be able to, even if I have 100 mouths, I will not be able to express how much happiness she feels. Any comments or questions?
No, but this is so beautiful.
So beautiful, right? Yeah. This is the realm of transcendence. This is transcendence, and we are getting a slight peek into it, a slight preview. Yeah. So it's our good fortune to be able to hear such things. This is nothing material or nothing mundane. Let's stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande Hari Bol. Thank you so much for listening and joining, and Hare Krishna.